Hello my friend, and welcome to the study. Today I'm going to show you something a little treat from another creator from France, Miss Favine. And I'll put her link in the description because sometimes I watch her channel. I think it's very pretty, beautiful. She likes to paint and she likes animals and creatures. And so I thought this would be a nice thing to show you today. And then we'll read some poetry. So we'll have some nice sounds, beautiful images, and sharing some poems, which I've had a few requests for. So you can see there are little birds there, a bird there, pigeon post. La Poste France. And there's a bookmark with her signature mouse in a teacup and some bluebells for spring. You see her watercolor, very peaceful. Merci. And here's some contact information there. YouTube, Miss Favine. So here it talks about the colors of spring. And spring with its flowers and the soft, gentle kiss of the sun. And there's a basket there with a little book and some knitting, needlework. And you might be able to hear the birds just outside here as well. But I thought this was so beautiful, I had to share it with you. It's a nice little wax paper and some washi tape with foil and white flowers, possibly snowdrops, and the fox. Opening this just gives me tingles. It's so relaxing. I hope it's relaxing for you too. And that's my wind chime. So it's very, very calm, relaxing morning right now. I'm trying to open this without destroying the fox, so I might just do it this way because the fox is so cute. Little foxy with the washi tape. But I think I shall have to do something with the fox sticker. I'm going to put the washi tape on the back. See the pretty gold foil? And you can enjoy the crackly sounds as I peel the sticker slowly, gently. Crackle, crackle. another bookmark for spring. The mice. And here we have a seabird. Macareur, puffin. And puffin, and the colors used to paint this puffin: grey blue, orange, yellow, and red. And here we have just touches of grey, blue in the white, and their little eyes and cheeks. And here it's lifespan 10 to 20 years a puffin can live. And it has a height of 28 to 34 centimeters, weighs 310 to 540 grams, and its wingspan 47 to 63 centimeters. And here we have some more seabirds. And there's our lesser puffin. And that's our tern. Duvet, guillemot. Ah, look. We saw him for our June almanac. Do you remember that? Penguin torta. Yeah, razorbill. And there's our other gull there, our loon. Some beautiful birds on the back as well. So these can be used as postcards. And looks like some stickers. There's a blue heron, all set between our seabirds. It's a beautiful sticker there. And some more washi tape with pink flowers and green leaves. I'm going to put that on this one. And it looks like another heron, a bigger one. Put it next to the guillemot. And look, the cheap duck there. And some more in there. More birds. Ah, look at that. That is I think it's a bee eater. Yes. Beautiful, colorful little bird, and of course, our kingfisher, martin pêcheur. Do you remember when we did the kingfisher? I probably asked you that. It's one of my favorite videos from the study. It was so much fun to make. And we read the story of Sais and Alcyone from Ovid. This feels like something that was on that list that I don't remember. But let's surprise ourselves. I think it's a pin. And we have some more colorful washi tape. What I like about the washi tape is that it doesn't damage paper, even though sometimes it doesn't stick very well. Look at that, some seabird pins and a mouse. So here we've got a mouse in a puffin teacup having a little bath in the summer. And there's the beach. Let's see, the sand and the seashells and the water and the seabirds. Tastete. There's our summer teacup. So there's the mouse in the spring, and here's the mouse in the summer. And there's our lesser puffin sitting on a nest next to the water. Pince créé par Miss Vervine. And there's our website, missvervine.fr. So beautiful little gifts from Miss Vervine. Shall we read some poems now to get us into a nice summer mood? Lazy summer day, a beautiful summer morning. Now, as I've said, we've had more than a few requests for poetry over the course of things in study. And so I'm going to read about, 6 poems for you. A selection of some of the wonderful things that our viewers and friends of the study have requested. We'll start off with Sailing to Byzantium by William Butler Yeats. That is no country for old men. The young in one another's arms, birds in the trees, those dying generations at their song. The salmon falls, the mackerel crowded seas, fish, flesh, or fowl, commend all summer long whatever is begotten, born, and dies, caught in that sensual music, all neglect monuments of unaging intellect. An aged man is but a paltry thing, a tattered coat upon a stick, unless soul clap its hands and sing, and louder sing, for every tatter in its mortal dress, nor is there singing school but studying monuments of its own magnificence. And therefore I have sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzantium. O sages standing in God's holy fire, as in the gold mosaic of a wall, come from the holy fire, burn in Cairo, and be the singing masters of my soul. Consume my heart away, sick with desire, and fastened to a dying animal it knows not what it is, and gather me into the artifice of eternity. Once out of nature I shall never take my bodily form from any natural thing, but such a form as Grecian goldsmiths make of hammered gold and gold enamelling, to keep a drowsy emperor awake, or set upon a golden bough to sing to lords and ladies of Byzantium of what is past or passing or to come. we'll start our journey off to dreamland with this poem by Nora Hopper called My Double. Who is it takes my duties up when pleasant drowsy head blows down my lids and leaves me asleep upon my bed? Who is it takes my fallen pen and writes with tireless hand things sweeter, wiser, tenderer than I can understand? And is my double fair to see, or is she heavy-eyed? And bears she flowers, or has she cast all gracious things aside, except the wild white poppies most sad of flowers that grow? And what or where her dwelling, indeed I'm fain to know. And shall I ever see your face, and look into your eyes, and learn which dream has left you sad, and what waking made you wise? And shall I ever lift your veil, and kind beneath it see eyes that have smiled for Helen and wept Persephone? O sad and wise and gracious, will you put silence by, and tell me of your wanderings, and what wild islands lie in seas that you have sailed across to make sweet dreams for me? Out of the deeds I cannot do, the soul I cannot be. It's by William Butler Yeats. This one, The Madness of King Gaul. I sat on cushioned otter skin, my word was law from ith to men, and shook at Inver Amagin the hearts of the world-troubling seamen, and drove tumult and war away from girl and boy and man and beast. The fields grew fatter day by day, the wild fowl of the air increased, and every ancient Olav said, while he bent down his fading head, he drives away the northern cold. They will not hush, the leaves a-flutter round me, the beech leaves old. I sat and mused and drank sweet wine. A herdsman came from inland valleys, crying, the pirates drove his swine to fill their dark-beaked hollow galleys. I called my battle-breaking men, and my loud brazen battle-cars from rolling vale and rivery glen, and under the blinking of the stars fell on the pirates by the deep, and hurled them in the gulf of sleep. These hands won many a talk of gold. They will not hush, the leaves a-flutter round me, the beech leaves old. But slowly, as I shouting slew and trampled in the bubbling mire, in my most secret spirit grew a whirling and a wandering fire. I stood, keen stars above me shone, around me shone keen eyes of men. I laughed aloud and hurried on, by rocky shore and rushy fen. I laughed because birds fluttered by, and starlight gleamed and clouds flew high, and rushes waved and waters rolled. They will not hush, the leaves a-flutter round me, the beech leaves old. And now I wander in the woods, when summer gluts the golden bees, or in autumnal solitudes arise the leopard-coloured trees, or when, along the wintry strands, the cormorants shiver on their rocks. I wander on, and wave my hands, and sing, and shake my heavy locks. The grey wolf knows me, by one ear I lead along the woodland deer. The hares run by me, growing bold. They will not hush, the leaves a-flutter round me, the beech leaves old. I came upon a little town that slumbered in the harvest moon, and passed a tiptoe up and down, murmuring to a fitful tune, how I have followed night and day a tramping of tremendous feet, and saw where this old tympan lay, deserted on a doorway seat, and bore it to the woods with me. Of some inhuman misery our married voices wildly trolled. They will not hush, the leaves aflutter round me, the beech leaves old. I sang how, when day's toil is done, Orchil shakes out her long dark hair, that hides away the dying sun, and sheds faint odours through the air. When my hand passed from wire to wire, it quenched with sound like falling dew the whirling and the wandering fire. But lift a mournful ulaloo, for the kind wires are torn and still, and I must wander wood and hill, through summer's heat and winter's cold. They will not hush, the leaves aflutter round me, the beech leaves old. This one, some more fantasy, again from Nora Hopper, or Nora Hopper Chesson. A Song of the Sword. It was welded in fires of Eve's own kindling, and tempered in tears that Lilith wept. Fires that were tended of Dule and Druid, and gods that woke while others slept. And the fire was hallowed with prayers and sighing of saints that took it for sleeping place, with life unborn and with life undying, with prayers unanswered and granted grace. The fire was watched of the dark immoral, from wistful twilight to windy dawn. Daedanans fed it with quickened branches, the wild she came from their dancing lawn. They sang wild songs to the red fire's flashing, they sang to the red fire's falling glow. And ours are the fire and the sword it welded, but free for us now the wild songs go. The fire's forlorn of the wayward singing, but rich it kindles and richer now, by crimson stones that the dark Imoro stripped for its pleasure from breast and brow. It called for wood, we brought it quicken. It cried for dew, and we brought it blood. We sent pale Colleen's its flame to strengthen, to tread the deeps of its crimson flood. We gave it blood, and we gave it blossoms, gold coins and amber and golden hair. Kings' daughters fed with their flower its hunger, and the sons of kings were its playthings fair. Its eager arms reached for a Danaan princess, reached out not long in vain desire. It has given the sword to be our servant, and we are the servants of the fire. This next one is by Robert Browning. A beautiful one. How they brought the good news from Ghent to Ace. I sprang to the stirrup, and Joris and he. I galloped, Dirk galloped, we galloped all three. Good speed, cried the watch, as the gate bolts undrew. Speed, echoed the wall to us galloping through. Behind shut the postern, the lights sank to rest, and into the midnight we galloped abreast. Not a word to each other, we kept the great pace, neck by neck, stride by stride, never changing our place. I turned in my saddle and made its girths tight, then shortened each stirrup and set the peak right. Rebuckled the cheek strap, chained slacker the bit, nor galloped less steadily Roland a whit. 'Twas moonset at starting, but while we drew near Lochran, the cocks crew, and twilight dawned clear. At Boom, a great yellow star came out to see. At Tveld, 'twas morning as plain as could be. And from Mecheln church steeple we heard the half-chime, so Joris broke silence with, "Yet there is time." At Airshot up-leaped of a sudden the sun, and against him the cattle stood black every one, to stare through the mist at us galloping past, and I saw my stout galloper Roland at last, with resolute shoulders, each hutting away the haze, as some bluff river headland its spray. And his low head and crest, just one sharp ear bent back for my voice, and the other pricked out on his track. And one eye's black intelligence, ever that glance, o'er its white edge at me, his own master askance. And the thick heavy spume flakes, which e'en and anon his fierce lips shook upward in galloping on. By Hasselt Dirk groaned, and cried, "Joris, stay spur! Your roos gallop bravery, the fault's not in her. We'll remember it ace," for one heard the quick wheeze of her chest, saw the stretched neck and staggering knees, and sunk tail, and horrible heave of the flank, as down on her haunches she shuddered and sank. So we were left galloping, Joris and I, past Luz and past Tongres, no cloud in the sky. The broad sun above laughed a pitiless laugh, 'neath our feet broke the brittle bright stubble like chaff, till over by Dahlem a dome spire sprang white, and "Gallop," cried Joris, "for Ace is in sight." How they'll greet us! And all in a moment his roan roiled neck and croup over lay dead as a stone, and there was my Roland to bear the whole weight of the news which alone could save Ace from her fate, with his nostrils like pits full of blood at the brim, and with circles of red for his eye sockets rim. Then I cast loose my buff coat, each holster let fall, shook off both my jack boots, let go belt and all, stood up in the stirrup, leaned, patted his ear, called my Roland his pet name, my horse without peer, clapped my hands, laughed and sang, any noise bad or good, till at length into Ace Roland galloped and stood. And all I remember is friends flocking round, as I sat with his head twixt my knees on the ground, and no voice but was praising this Roland of mine, as I poured down his throat our last measure of wine, which the burgesses voted by common consent was no more than his due, who brought good news from Ghent. And one last, from William Butler Yeats, The Song of the Happy Shepherd. The woods of Arcady are dead, and over is their antique joy. Of the old world of dreaming fed, grey truth is now her painted toy. Yet still she turns her restless head. But, oh, sick children of the world, of all the many changing things in dreary dancing past us whirled, to the cracked tune that Kronos sings, words alone are certain good. Where are now the warring kings, word-be mockers by the rood? Where are now the warring kings, an idle word is now their glory, by the stammering schoolboy said, reading some entangled story. The kings of the old time are dead, the wandering earth herself may be only a sudden flaming word, in clanging space a moment heard, troubling the endless reverie. Then no wise worship dusty deeds, nor seek, for this is also sooth, to hunger fiercely after truth, lest all thy toiling only breeds new dreams, there is no truth. Saving in thine own heart, seek then no learning from the starry men, who follow with the optic glass the whirling ways of stars that pass. Seek then, for this is also sooth, no word of theirs, the cold star-bane has cloven and rent their hearts in twain, and dead is all their human truth. Go gather by the humming sea some twisted echo-harbouring shell, and to its lips thy story tell, and they thy comforters will be, rewarding in melodious guile thy fretful words a little while, till they shall singing fade in ruth, and die a pearly brotherhood, for words alone are certain good. Sing then, for this is also sooth. I must be gone, there is a grave where daffodil and lily wave, and I would please the hapless fawn, buried under the sleepy ground, with mirthful songs before the dawn. His shouting days with mirth were crowned, and still I dream he treads the lawn, walking ghostly in the dew, pierced by my glad singing through my songs of old earth's dreamy youth. But she dreams not now, dream thou, for fair are poppies on the brow. Dream, for this is also sooth. And there we have some beautiful poetry on a quiet summer morning with our seabird gifts from Miss Favine in the study together with you. And all of our birds are bee eater, bee catcher, our kingfisher, heron, guillemots, puffins, razorbills, terns, our food bassin, and our elder duck, and the mice and the puffins and I all wish you a very relaxing day or night and a beautiful summer ahead. Be good to yourself, my friend. Be kind to others. And be extraordinary.